Meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
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 Are there any conflicts of interest statements?
No, sir.
Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of December 21st, 2023.
Motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Anybody? Number 7, correspondence. Letter A, industrial waste and disposal services agreement with Waste Management submitted for approval.
Motion to approve that agreement as submitted.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was looking at a demolition. Good morning, Board,
morning.
Mr. President. So this is a result of a pretty thorough process that was recommended by the Controller's Office, approved by the administration through a reverse auction, and it ended up saving the city a considerable amount of money, so that's a bonus. You'll notice that the contract is redlined. It's for a term of 1 year, so those are the redlined portions of it. I believe it should have been signed by Waste Management. If it's not, I believe we have a signed copy.
Yeah, it's very light, but
Okay.
it's signed, yeah.
Well, Linda, okay, so I can represent to you that I've spoken with our representative from Leopardo, and that he has been in contact with Waste Management, and I think she sent an email back. So I'd request it be approved as presented. It's for a term of 1 year.
Gotcha.
So, Linda, we should put a note that in November of next year, we should be looking at this again. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 2, letter B, funding allocation request form for the Shot Spotter software 3-year project, 2023 through 2025, annual commitment submitted for approval.
Yeah, I think you should have a signed document indicating the council's and the mayor's portions of this, which is great news. It's going to be great. I know the police are very excited about this, so, and congratulations on the grant, which was a substantial amount of grant, I think $300,000 or $400,000 to pay for part of it too. So
300,000, yeah.
it's exciting. We're going to implement this, and I'd request its approval.
Motion to approve as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, C-Click Fix, do not block track sign on the new part of Kennedy.
Well, you can send it to our department. Typically, we don't have.
Mark,
Mark, you gotta come
yeah,
up here.
come up here, yeah. We're getting the warning. Yeah.
Sorry, Mary Jane. Typically, we don't have, don't block the track signs because that's pretty obvious, but if you want to send it to us, we'll take a look at it. I was just there today, and sometimes they stack up on Kennedy and 69th by the traffic signal. So we could take a look at that and see
Sure.
what it is. So I recommend sending it to the engineering department. Thank you.
Motion to defer the matter to engineering.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, request from resident Antonio Terrazas, 1157 Wilcox Street, to install do not block driveway signs and/or paint yellow lines on curb.
I would recommend sending that to the engineering department. We'll take a look at that and see and come back with a status, and probably recommend going to the street department for something to be done.
Okay.
Motion to defer to engineering.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, right-of-way permits. Looks like there's 2 of them received from engineering, submitted for approval.
If you recall, there was one last week, and other one that was accompanying it was not with it. So they're both together. One being just a lane restriction. It would be eastbound, but traffic will be able to go both ways. That's to put the loops in for a train signal. And also the other one is the overnight closure. I believe it's 9 to 5 in the morning in mid-January to install the gates.
Yeah, from 9 PM on Wednesday, the 17th, through 5 AM on Thursday, the 18th.
Yes, so I would recommend approval for that. It should not really interrupt too much traffic at
Okay.
that particular time.
Okay.
And there's a detour that's attached. I believe it's attached to there, but we do have a detour plan at.
Yeah. You'll have there'll be signs up,
Yes,
as
sir.
always, Mark. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the right-of-way permits as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to number 10, old business, letter A, status for Jimenez Auto.
Good morning, Board. I believe Mr. Bartholomew, you can see him on the screen.
He is, yes.
present here today, and this is up for a status. So there's a couple of outstanding matters, one of which lies in my court, which is the overdue and past due licensing fees. Mr. Bartholomew and I are going to negotiate that, so that really shouldn't be an issue, and we'll get that knocked out. Of course, one of the hurdles to this being accomplished was making sure that, hi.
They
Oh,
just walked in.
Okay,
Just
great.
walked in.
We just started, and Christian, I'll just let you know your clients are here, present in person. You can probably see them.
I see them. Hey there.
Okay. So I'll just want to repeat where I was.
Yes,
Okay, so I'll
please.
just start over just so you can hear where we're at. Okay, so a couple items are outstanding, one of which is past due licensing fees. That should not be a problem of the board. Mr. Bartholomew and I are going to negotiate that out and get that resolved. Now, to, of course, get the license, we wanted to make sure that they were in compliance with all the items that zoning and inspections set forth. One of which, my understanding is, there continues to be a parking issue in the sense that the plan that we received, which is this plan, Jake, is that something
We can see.
you can
we
see
have
it?
yeah.
You can see it, okay. Kind of indicates where the parking is going to be, and it's single row, parking for the facility. Mr. Novak, who's going to come up in a second, can explain his concern about how parking is going out there and what he believes needs to be corrected. So, Tom, do you want to just, and I'm going to hand these to the
Okay, yeah, so, and basically, so they're currently parking in two, well, they were, and they've cleared out most of the cars, but they're not parking in a single row, it's kind of jagged, so there's a gate at one end of the building here we want to keep clear, so originally the plan kind of had this parking along the building. We need to see this restriped, it's kind of faded, and then keep cars just parked in a single row along the building there. Not like,
bumper, not like
yeah.
front end to back end, right?
Yeah, and so, I think
Can we ask a question? Are you talking about along the building here, or there's no
over here,
parking?
right
There's no
back there,
parking?
Yeah, back there, yeah.
So they can have a single line there?
Yeah, there should be just a single line.
I got you.
You can flip the page
And,
and see the.
and if it helps, installing parking
Yeah,
bumpers.
they removed
would be
everything
great,
except
but-
one car on the second page. You can see one car back there.
And there's a couple behind it
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
that you can't see from that angle. But so
Got it.
our point is just restripe it and then keep them all in one row, and I think we should be happy.
Yeah, and as long as that can be accomplished reasonably soon, I have no objection to getting the business license resolved, and then I think we're done. I mean, it's been a huge improvement. It's small stuff, but we do want to get them in compliance, so that way, it's just done, and we don't have to have them keep coming back.
okay.
So, Christian, did you want to address the board, or?
Everything that's been presented comports with the conversations and the email exchanges that I had with Kevin and Tom. I think the only remaining issue at this point is this parking issue, which seems to be a fairly minor thing. But when I spoke with Tom, it seems like there's a few potential resolutions, one of which would be to stripe this. It's kind of a continuation of an alleyway that comes out behind one of the buildings, and it's easy to confuse it with the actual lot on the site plan just because of the way things have been set up in the past. So, Tom said maybe we could put in some parking blocks or some signs or some additional striping, and that might fix the issue. I don't anticipate any of those being a problem. I haven't had the opportunity to discuss it in depth with my clients. It came up fairly recently, and I note they're here today. I didn't get to speak to them yesterday, but I think everything that's been presented is accurate as far as my conversations with the city, and I guess I would just ask if my clients have any questions on their end or anything that they need to have cleared up while we're here.
No, están diciendo que si nosotros podemos dejar pues una fila ahí al frente nomás para cualquier cosa, pero es lo único que a lo mejor si fuera cuestión de repintar las rayas nomás, pero pues no, nada extremadamente nomás para que ya nos den la licencia porque ya no, ya también si quieren salir ellos también todo esto, que no son problemas grandes ya. Yeah.
Any questions? You want, go ahead. You can go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't think honestly we have any questions. I mean, we pretty much try to clear it up everything. I think the only car that you do see there was something that we weren't able to, they brought it in with a tow truck and we weren't able to get a part in, which is getting in today and will get fixed and moved, so.
Yeah, I think if we
Yeah.
work on striping it, I think it'll solve all this, because then we know where the cars are supposed to be, and we all know where the cars are supposed to be, and if they're in compliance, we're good, and if they're not, it'll be very easy to see that they're not. What I would suggest to the board is set this over for 60 days with the understanding that if during that time the parking gets resolved and I can resolve the issues with the late fees with Mr. Bartholomew, that we'll cancel that status to not, that way nobody has to keep coming back by. All right, so if we could get a 60-day date with the understanding that I might vacate that if we, if we're able to get compliance, so.
Is February 22nd okay?
Sure with me. Christian, is that good with you?
That should work. Yeah, that's fine.
And you can attend by Zoom, of course, at any time. And your clients can too. So, okay, February 22nd at 9 a.m.
Motion to set the matter for status for February 22nd, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, moving on to.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter B, status for 6946 Arizona.
So this is Mr. Rhodes' place. I don't know, Bill, do you have any update? No. Okay, so I don't see him here. We asked for a couple weeks, because part of that issue is that fence.
Right.
Have you? Anybody been by there? I mean, I want to see that fence, that right? I mean, that was in bad shape.
Really bad shape.
Yeah, has anyone been by there? Donnie, have
No,
you
I've
been
been
over
off
there?
this week, sorry.
Okay,
Do we?
I'd say set it over for a week,
1 week and then if.
and let's check it out. Is that Mike Coles, or is that you, Jason? Okay, so that's you? Mike, okay. So 1 week, and we'll ask Mr. Luter, or Mr. Farrell, or Mr. Kearney, or Mr. Coles to hop out there and give us an update.
Actually, I work Friday. I can do it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I mean, but,
Yeah.
I want you to see it for the board, Donnie, but I want, or Mr. Kalina, but I want
Oh, I see what you mean.
a
Okay.
report to the board as well.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
okay.
So for, the 4th or the 11th? The 4th? Okay.
Whatever the, 4th or
February
11th,
4th.
if you want it the 11th, just because it's a holiday, you want to go 11th?
Yeah, let's do 11.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
1/11.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 11th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, status for, letter C, sorry, status for 1315 170th.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
We would ask for a continuance out 30 days to January 25th. The property owner is being very cooperative with us. Permits have been pulled. It's basically just pending inspections.
Gotcha.
So January 25th is what we would ask for.
Motion to set this for status for January 25th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, status for 1463 Indianapolis Boulevard.
So, several weeks ago, we received requests for releases on this property. Linda, you might remember that they were asking who was going to record it, and I said they were going to record it, and they asked for a wet original, but I haven't seen anything since then. Have you got any of those releases back? Did it close? The issue we're having with this is just to make sure that we keep on this property.
Right.
Because as Mr. Luter let me know, they thought they had a buyer, the owners are in Connecticut, then because we were giving them some time to close and get a new buyer in there so we could then potentially proceed with a rehab agreement. But if it's going to stall out, we need to proceed because we've given them a very long leash on this.
I agree.
Right, Bill? So if we could get that January 11th date for us to figure out what's going on with these releases and whether it is going to close or not,
Okay.
and that, Bill, does that give you enough time to follow up? And that way we can determine. So Linda, you'll work on that as well. Thank you.
Motion to set for status for January 11th, 2024.
Thank you.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, second extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 941 Reese Avenue submitted for approval.
Not signed. We still don't have it signed. Who? January 11th. Sorry about that.
Set this for status for January 11th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter F, status for Chesapeake and Chestnut. Stop sign.
That'd be engineering.
I want to say my parents live on that street and we love it, so,
Oh, it's there? They put it in?
yeah.
Okay, it's in.
Is that a,
Is that,
something that, what do you have before you? Do you have a piece, anything?
It says that the request was approved, yes, by the Board of Public Works and Safety. Dean Button, it's a letter from
Was it a
Dean.
temporary approval back in, what's the date on that?
Date September 26th, and 90-day trial period.
Okay. And what's the, so is the recommendation to request the board to permanently approve the stop sign?
I would have to defer till Dean comes back and discuss it with him.
Okay. I mean,
I'm unaware of this one, it might have been when I was off.
the upside to doing something today would be that we could then make it part of the cleanup ordinance for 2023, but if not, we can wait. I mean, we probably do need Dean to confirm, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Dean, but I know that a stop sign there was needed for sure, because it's hard to see going back the other way, which is what he can,
Chesapeake's a long straight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's a blind.
okay, gotcha.
okay.
Okay, we'll defer it, Yep.
Actually, I'm aware of this, and you brought it back to my memory. Yes, there's a blind spot there, and it's what's necessary with that, just such as on Arizona, Arkansas. Just like that, but I understand what this one was, because there is a blind spot coming off of Chesapeake.
Okay,
So
yeah, there
I
is
would-
definitely going back the other way.
Yes, I would recommend this being done, because I'm sure Dean is aware of this, and we did discuss this.
The councilman did request it.
Yes, Councilman.
Councilman Whirlpool's the one that made the request, yes.
Yes,
I do recall that.
Does this also have to go to council?
No,
for them to-
but
okay,
you,
we're
if the
done.
board approves it, it'll become one of our, I do a cleanup ordinance every year to, not, I don't want to call it cleanup. I do a summary ordinance every year for everything the board has passed.
Okay.
So if you want to, I mean, board could, it sounds like it's going to stay permanent.
yes.
I mean, in my opinion, it should, but
You're
that's
the
my
board, you
opinion,
can
so I'm
make that
one person, so.
Yes, I would
Yes,
recommend
okay,
that.
Okay,
It sounds like Tom's parents want it to be permanent.
yeah. Well, Okay,
Motion to approve the stop sign at Chesapeake and Chestnut
And to make it permanent.
and to make it permanent.
I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Linda, you'll add.
Thank you. Letter G, status for a 90-day temporary stop sign at Vine in Arizona.
This was actually for the construction of Kennedy Avenue,
Right.
and I would like to defer this and make sure, discuss it with Dean when he comes back off of his vacation. Put it for status for maybe 2 weeks.
For the
This
11th.
is one that I remember they were saying they would pull after
Yes.
construction.
Yes, but I just want to make sure everything, and
I recall what you're saying, but then Dean said that it was kind of, he was getting favorable
Working, yeah.
remarks from it, so maybe it might, so we'll see, okay.
yeah, so I would recommend that.
Motion, sorry, Mark.
No, there are just so many stop signs that are being requested this past year, so.
January 11th?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we'll set the matter for, motion to set the matter for status for January 11th, 2024.
I second.
Thank you.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the meeting's open to the public. Does anybody have anything they want to say?
Well, since I'm here, I'll say Happy New Year's.
Happy
Have a
New Year to you,
blessed one,
too.
You, sir.
And a safe one, and a great one.
Thanks, Mark, same to you.
Stop sign problems became very ubiquitous for us this year,
Very
didn't they?
ubiquitous,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right, motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
That was ubiquitous.
yeah.